Check, 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 check. Check, check. Mic check, mic check. Salaki Adawan, can y'all hear us in Fayetteville? Yeah, they got their mics off. Oh, pull South Carolina off the stream? Check, check, check.
Can you hear me? Test it, test it.
Con, we can hear you in Fayetteville. Can you hear us? Check, check, check. Shalom, Yeshikatha, Akaz. Can you hear me in Fayetteville? This is Officer Bankayel.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Con, sir.
Most high in Christ, brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, sir. Lord Christ, Israel, I'm going to be filling in right now till Commander Junior Hunter steps up and comes to take over the class. So we're just going to go over Esther 101 and so on until he comes to take over class. Everybody can hear me well?
We can hear you.
All right, come. All right, we get started. You got 12. All right. Oh, okay. He said Esther what? Chapter 101. Okay, sure. What? All right. It's like, yeah, can we clap it up for class? Like, hey, our Most High Christ, you know what I'm saying? This is we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. And we are under Commander General Yohana's tutelage. You know what I'm saying? Today, you know what I'm saying, is another day, a memorial that we're holding, you know what I'm saying, for the Most High, you know what I'm saying, under the ISUPK banner. You know what I'm saying? We are the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying? And this is the feast of Purim. You know what I'm saying? Purim, you know what I'm saying, we're holding this day as a memorial to remember, you know what I'm saying, what this sister did, you know what I'm saying, in the name, you know what I'm saying, of the Most High for our nation, for the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we would do yearly, you know what I'm saying, as a memorial, you know what I'm saying, to hold it down and remember, you know what I'm saying, what our forefathers and our foremothers went through, you know what I'm saying, to understand, you know what I'm saying, what we're going through even today. You know what I'm saying? This is the compass, you know what I'm saying, to our salvation. You know what I'm saying? Things that we're supposed to do. Right? So we're gonna go over this today. We're gonna go over Esther chapter 1. You know what I'm saying, to begin off, and I'm filling in for Commander General Yohana. Commander General Yohana is going to be here tonight, you know what I'm saying, to fill in, not to fill in, but he's coming here to teach this class, to give us, you know what I'm saying, updates and everything that we're supposed to have and we're supposed to look forward to as a nation, That's the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He coming here to South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Right here in Centerville, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying, to hold the Feast of Purim for us. And he came to join us, come all the way from New York to join South Carolina, you know what I'm saying, and through all the Carolinas to North Carolina to hold this Feast of Purim. So if you want one more time, if you could clap it up for Commander General one more time. You know what I'm saying? All right, so well. All right, again, if somebody could give me Esther chapter 1, verse 1, if you could, Baba Show.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 127
provinces. It's like it. So this is King Ahasuerus. He's a king over from India even unto Ethiopia, right? And he reigned over as a king from India all the way to Ethiopia. And it's over 120 provinces, right? All right, you keep going.
Verse 2. That in those days, when the king of Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan, the palace.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 3. In the third year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Right. So it says he unto his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and the princes of provinces being before him. So he made a feast, you know what I'm saying? Much like how we're holding here today. You know what I'm saying? We're holding a feast of Purim, which is really a memorial, but he's holding something to gather his people around. You know what I'm saying? The powers of Persia and Media, right? Those will mainly, you know, be your Arabs today. You know what I'm saying? Your Arabs and your of those nations. So that's what he hold the feast of. So go ahead to verse 4.
Verse 4. When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days.
Right. And he showed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days. Right. You know what I'm saying? People looked up to this king, you know what I'm saying? In this kingdom where he ruled from Persia all the way up to Ethiopia. These people looked up to him, you know what I'm saying? He showed his majesty, his riches in his kingdom. He was rich, you know what I'm saying? He had a great kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Much like, you know what I'm saying, these kingdoms that we have been in captivity in, you know what I'm saying, time after time. You know what I'm saying? This is what he ruled in. So he had that glory and riches, and the people looked to him, right? All right, go ahead.
Verse 5. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan, the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days, in the court of the garden of the king's palace.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble.
Right. So start right there. You know what I'm saying? This is where his kingdom, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to explain through, right? You know what I'm saying? Through his kingdom, you know what I'm saying? Through his palace that he had, you know what I'm saying? He made it look glorious, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody likes to have, you know what I'm saying, their home, you know what I'm saying, anything that they live in, you know what I'm saying, their palace. You like to make it look good. So he had linen, he had fine linen hanging, you know what I'm saying, of purple and green, right? It's like with cords of fine linen and purple, right? These are the things that he did, you know what I'm saying, to make himself look glorious in his palace, right? Go ahead, keep going.
The beds were of gold and silver upon the pavement of red and blue and white and black marble.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another, and royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king.
Right. Go ahead, you keep going.
Verse 8. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house, that they should do according to every man's pleasure.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 9. Also, Vashti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to a king, which belonged to King Ahasuerus.
Right. Go ahead, keep going.
Verse 10. On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was married with wine, he commanded me. How you pronounce that?
My human.
My human.
Uh-huh.
Biztha,
yeah.
Harbona,
Uh-huh.
Bigtha,
Uh-huh.
and Abagtha.
Yeah.
Zathar,
Uh-huh.
and Carcass,
Uh-huh.
the seven chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king.
It's like a night. Can you give me the definition of a chamberlain? Right. So he's naming these people, right? This is going down the line of how his kingdom, how his palace was, man. You know what I'm saying? He's giving you a vivid description in the book of Esther of how these things are to be, right? Chamberlains are CHAMBERALINS. Right? So he's giving me a description, a vivid description. You know what I'm saying? Us being, you know what I'm saying, the children of Israel, we're very descriptive people. So we got to understand who was there, what was going on, what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? We have to have details. You know what I'm saying? You know how when we go into a party or a function or whatever y'all, you know what I'm saying, want to go and join, we want to know who's going to be there. We want to know what it's going to look like. You know what I'm saying? What all people coming, right? That's exactly how we do. You know what I'm saying? So this is similar to, you know what I'm saying, understanding of how this is written. We want to know exactly how it looked like. This is why the Bible describes these things like this, because this is how we looked at things, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't sugarcoat anything. You know what I'm saying? The 12 tribes of Israel, they want it direct and forward. We don't try to sneak nothing. We want everything, details, how it look and everything. So this is why it's like this. All right, you got it?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is the definition of chamberlains.
Right.
In the Oxford Language Dictionary, and also which Oriental monarchs placed over their harems.
Right. Read it one more time from the top.
An officer which Oriental monarchs placed over their harem.
Right. Right. If you want to go like monarchs, like he said, the word monarch, almost like a ruler or a king. You know what I'm saying? These very important people. That's why I even named them. You know what I'm saying? Here in verse 10. You know what I'm saying? When he said Biztha, Harbana, Biztha, Zethar, Cargas, and you know what I'm saying, all these seven chamberlains. You know what I'm saying? That what you call it? That complimented King Ahasuerus, right? They complimented him. So there was his surrounding people, his main people that was around him. So go ahead to verse 11. Read verse 11 again.
Verse 11. To bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to shew the people and the princess her beauty.
Right. He said to bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, not the not the drink Crown Royal, right? I know y'all think about Crown Royal. It's probably where they got this from. You know what I'm saying? But to bring it's like a Vashti, the queen, before the king, the Crown Royal, to shew the people, the princess, her beauty, right? So they brought her a crown, you know what I'm saying, and they showed her off in front of the people. Go ahead.
For she was fair to look on.
Right. So show her in front of the people. She was fair to look for. Fair meaning, you know, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She looked beautiful amongst the people. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's explaining. Go ahead, 12.
Verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
Right. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment. Right. He wanted her at this gathering. Right. You can just turn it down real quick. You can turn it. Yep. All right. Come. Can you read 12 again, Baba Kusha?
Verse 12. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him.
Right. His anger burned in him because he wanted Queen Vashti at this gathering. You know what I'm saying? That he was happy. Like I explained, that the function that it was happening, this gathering that was happening. He wanted Queen Vashti there, and she would not come. Right. So therefore he was very wroth, and his anger burned inside him. Right. All right, you keep going to 13.
Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. Verse 14. And the next unto him was a Karshana, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish.
It's like, let me read that.
Verse 14.
So he said, yeah, Karshana, Shethar, Admatha, and Tarshish. Right. Go ahead.
Maris,
yeah. Go ahead, keep going.
Marsana,
right, keep going.
And Memukan.
Media. Oh,
No, I'm not.
yeah, Memukan.
The 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face and which sat at the first in the kingdom.
Right. All right, keep going.
Verse 15. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus,
right,
by the chamberlains.
Right. So that now these people that they just named in verse 14, now they're asking the king Ahasuerus, right? What shall we do unto Queen Vashti according to the law, according to their you know what I'm saying, law of conduct, you know what I'm saying, to the things that they had set up for her not coming to this gathering that they set up. That's what they're asking. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the chamberlains are asking. What shall we do to the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains? The chamberlains are the ones that set up those laws, right? So that's why they're saying according to the chamberlains. Right? Go ahead. So 16.
Verse 16. And Memukan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti, the queen, hath not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Ahasuerus,
right. So now they're saying they've done not only wrong to the king, but they've done wrong to us. They even saying she done wrong to us for not showing up. Right? The queen didn't show up for us either. You know what I'm saying? They're not just making it about the king, they're making it about themselves. Right? So that's what they're saying. Go ahead, 17.
Verse 17. Mm-hmm. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes.
Right.
When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti, the queen, to be brought into before him, but she came not.
Right. Can you read that from the top again? I'm gonna stop you at one point. Go ahead.
Verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women.
Right. So you can start right there. So he's saying, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad to all women. You know what I'm saying? They're making this about all women now. You know what I'm saying? Even when the queen didn't show up, because they seen it as a disrespect that she didn't show up. So it's like this was something. This was like we're having tonight, a memorial. It was like a gathering. It was something traditional that they did. So her not showing up was something a shame to even to all the women that wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Or just in general, because she was supposed to be the queen. You know what I'm saying? You know how we look at the definition of, you know what I'm saying, the meaning of queen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In Israel, you know what I'm saying? For our people, we call queens, you know what I'm saying, WHORES. All right. I want to take off a TikTok, but that's what we usually call it. But you know what I'm saying? We don't call our sisters queens, we call our sisters princesses, you know what I'm saying, according to Israel. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they had set up in line, right? So go ahead, you keep going, Salaki, from that point.
So that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought into before him, but she came not.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the kings, princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath.
Right. So he's saying this is what's always going to be said, that thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. This is going to cause an uproar between his you know what I'm saying, his kingdom and his palace. All right. This is gonna cause contempt and wrath throughout all the kingdom, right? Throughout their palace. This is exactly what they was talking about. So go ahead, keep going.
Verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him.
Right.
And let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her a royal estate unto another that is better than she.
Right. Say if it please the king, let it go a royal commandment from him, and it be written among the laws of the Persians. So they say, if it please the king, let this thing that just happened right now, this disrespect that they felt that she didn't show up to the palace, you know what I'm saying, to be here for their gathering. Let it be, you know what I'm saying, written as a commandment from him. All right, go ahead.
Verse 20. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give their husbands honor, both to great and small.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. Verse 22. For he sent letters into all the king's province, into every province according to the writing thereof.
Right. All right, you start right. It's like Naya. Can you look at the word provenances? Yeah, PROVINCES. I had to get that earlier, but shit. It's like provenances. Right.
It's a Hindu
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is the definition of provenances.
Huh? Is that mic working?
In the Oxford Language Dictionary, a principal and administrative division of certain countries or empires.
Right, one more time.
A principal administrative division of certain countries or empires.
Right. So it's a division of certain principles or empire. So this, he said, for he sent the letters into all kings and provinces. So that these kings that he sent the letters out to was different. Go ahead.
A principal administrative division of certain countries or empires.
Right. So it was different. So that's why he sent it to different kings, because it was division of principles of certain empires. So that's why this was provinces. You know what I'm saying? The people the other countries and other empires that was set up, you know what I'm saying, amongst them. So that's how he sent it up. Just like, you know, how we have the U.S. today, you know what I'm saying? You got the U.S. or the UN, United Nations, you know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be working together. That's a definition or an example of a provinces. You know what I'm saying? They sit together, they deal with each other, they send out letters and deals and certain you know what I'm saying, talks with each other, you know what I'm saying, out to each other. You know what I'm saying? So like the UN would do with the US, what the US would do to the United Kingdom, or what the US would do to Israel, or, you know what I'm saying, Pakistan, you know what I'm saying, anything like that, right? So can you read from top of 22 again one more time?
Verse 22, for he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Right. So that every man should bear rule in his own house. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That every man should bear rule and to every people after their language, right? And that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the people. It's like according to the language of every people, right? So go ahead to chapter 2, right?
Chapter 2.
Slide it. No, go ahead. Slide.
Chapter 2, verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 2. Then said the king's servant that ministered unto him, let there be a fair young virgin sought for the king. Verse 3. And let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the women unto the custody of Hegi, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given them.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 4. And let the maiden which was pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti, and let the thing please the king. And he did so. Verse 5. Now in Shushan the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai.
Right. All right, so right here in verse 5, right? It says, now in Shushan, the place, there was a certain Jew, right? So they're pointing him out. This is a Jew. This is us now. This is pointing to our people, right? The certain Jew, his name was Mordecai. This is our people that it's talking about, right? That's in this palace and in this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So this is who it's talking about, right? All right, so go ahead. His name was Mordecai.
The son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite.
Right. The son of Kish, a Benjamite. So therefore, you know that Mordecai was a Benjamite, because it kept naming the son of, and the son of Kish, a Benjamite. Right. So it went down all the way. So you know that Mordecai was a Benjamite according to the scripture. So go ahead.
Verse 6. Who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity, which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar,
Nebuchadnezzar, right?
The king of Babylon, had carried away.
Right.
Verse 7. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother.
Right. All right. So you can stop right there. You know what I'm saying? So from verse 6, when it's talking about Mordecai being carried away, he was carried away into the Persian captivity, right? From Babylon. After that's what his bloodline ended up. And then ended up, you know what I'm saying, verse 7, and he brought up Hadassah, you know what I'm saying? That is Esther, who exactly what this book is called. This is the book of Esther, which we're talking about. So this is first mention of Esther right here in verse Esther 2 and 7, right? Which is his uncle's daughter, right? For she had neither father nor mother, right? So her mother and father had already passed away. She had no parents, right? You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
And the maid was fair and beautiful.
Right. So Esther is explaining this sister, right, of Israel, right? This Israelite sister right here. You know what I'm saying? She was fair and beautiful, right? Go ahead.
Whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter. Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
So it came to pass when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many
Slide, you start right there. So with Esther, you know what I'm saying? Esther being Hadassah will be Hadassah's cousin, which is Esther. So Esther was also a Benjamite. You know what I'm saying? If you according to this. So Esther was a Benjamite. So go ahead.
And when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace, to the custody of a guy, that Esther was brought also into the king's house, to the custody of the guy, keeper of the women.
Hegai, right? Hegai, the keeper of women. So she was the one to go to, you know what I'm saying, for the women, right? And she was the keeper. It's like she was brought to the king's house to custody of the Hegai, the keeper of women of that king's palace, right? So go ahead, keep reading the verse 9.
Verse 9. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things for purification, with such things as belonged to her.
Right.
And 7 maidens which were meet to be given, her out of the king's house, and he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women.
Right.
Verse 10. Esther had not shewed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not shew it.
Right. So Esther, she didn't show up exactly to this palace, right? So Mordecai had charged her that she had not shewed. So go ahead.
Verse 11. And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her.
Right.
Verse 12. Now when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to which 6 months with oil and myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women. Verse 13. Then thus came every maiden unto the king, whatsoever she desired was given her, to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house.
Right. Right. Keep going.
Verse 14. And the even she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the women, to the custody of Shaashgaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name.
Right. So it says that the evening she went on the march, she returned into the second house of the women in the custody of Shaagaz, like the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubine. She came in unto the king no more, except the king's delighted her, and that she would call by name. Okay, it's like keep going. It's like
Verse 15. Now when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go into the king, she required nothing but what Hegai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed, and Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into the house of royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. Verse 17. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins.
select. You stop good.
If I could, this is a heavy story. I love this story, man. And it's just important that we really understand that this what we're reading about right now is showing how bad Esther was as a woman, as a sister. Like this sister came into this kingdom and also ripped. She already getting certain pleasures that women had to wait months to get, had to wait years to get. She getting the best house in the kingdom. She getting the best house for where the women is staying at. And it's just so important that we understand that she's getting these things that she's getting because of how beautiful she is, because of how she conducted herself, because how she spoke, and she gained pleasure unto these men. But it just goes to show, you understand, that how we got sisters today who are also beautiful, sisters who are beautiful as Esther. But this story is going to show how Esther used her beauty to obtain the power and to do the things necessary for her people, as opposed to how our sisters are using their beauty today. And I just wanted to point that out because this is very important for sisters to learn how to use that power that they've been given. And Esther is, we ain't go over it yet, but she's getting ready to do a wonderful job.
Kind of what Con says. Hey, clap it up if you could. Right. Exactly. Hey, Tawana, for that, Officer Yarmark. Exactly what Officer Yarmark is explaining. You know what I'm saying? This sister Esther, you know what I'm saying, the sister of Israel, you know what I'm saying, of the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? She used, like he explained, I'm just going over it. She used her beauty, you know what I'm saying, for how, and conducted herself how she's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? This is how she, you know what I'm saying, she got through it and got the things that she needed and got people to treat her the way she was supposed to be treated, like a daughter of Zion, right? Like our sisters of Israel, you know what I'm saying? You are daughters of Zion, you know what I'm saying? Of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Most High wants from our sisters, to conduct yourselves in modesty and in beauty, you know what I'm saying? So that you can move, you know what I'm saying, and take care of this nation, you know what I'm saying? If these sisters don't understand out here, when you're in the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying? These sisters have a very pivotal part in this nation, man. You sisters have a very pivotal part in this nation, and you uphold the work that y'all do, uphold, you know what I'm saying, these brothers, you know what I'm saying, us as men, you know what I'm saying, to go forward and do our job, you know what I'm saying, so we can build this nation. So everything y'all do, you know what I'm saying, will help these brothers, you know what I'm saying, go to camp, you know what I'm saying, go you know what I'm saying, go out here and reach other brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, and the way you teach, you know what I'm saying, the sisters above below you, you know what I'm saying, you teaching them modesty and how to carry themselves, and how to take care of their husbands, you know what I'm saying, how to serve their nation, you know what I'm saying, how to serve their husbands, so that we can do our job, so that we can come as a nation, you know what I'm saying, and take over this place like never before, man. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord can come back and we can have our own things. You know what I'm saying? Our own kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we, you know what I'm saying, that's your heart's desire, the Lord will give it to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's exactly what you will have, you know what I'm saying, in this next place after this place is destroyed. So the thing that that Esther is doing, that Commander General is going to further explain, is the thing, and that also y'all might just went over exactly how our sisters should conduct themselves as we're gonna keep going. So can you continue Hakunaya?
So that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Slide, what verse you at?
Verse 17.
Okay. Can you read it from the top one more time, Baba Kasha?
Verse 17. And the king loved Esther above all women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Right. So right here, she the king Ahasuerus, he made Esther the queen instead of Vashti. Vashti didn't even show up to what they were having. So King Ahasuerus made Esther, this Benjamite woman of Israel, he made her queen over all of his palace, of his kingdom. That's how our sisters stand out amongst these heathens, right? That's how our sisters stand out amongst these heathens. Our sisters are the best sisters among any other nation. You know what I'm saying?
Say something.
Come on, sir.
Something that's also heavy. You got to notice that king was a heathen,
Right.
and he made her queen. That was not a tradition of Israel to make our women's queen.
Right.
That was the tradition of the heathens to make our women's queen.
That's right.
So sisters that walk around today calling themselves queens, that is a heathen tradition. That has never been a part of Israel also. I just want to clarify.
Khan, exactly. Khan, sir. Exactly. Also, Bond, he just clarified, you know what I'm saying, that it was not our tradition to call our sisters queens. Like I went over earlier, you know what I'm saying, we call our sisters princesses. You know what I'm saying? Princesses and us, we're princes of the power of the Most High, Yasha Allah, right? That's what the children of Israel are, princesses and princes of the power, right? And they're also sure. That's exactly what the Most High called us to be, and it was not tradition for Israel to do that. And them, these heathens, you know what I'm saying, these other nations, this king Ahasuerus over the nation of Persia and the Medes, right? These Arabs, right? You know what I'm saying? He made our sister queen over his palace and over his nation. You know what I'm saying? So that tells you how much conduct and how much beauty and how much value that daughter of Israel, daughter of Zion, of our nation had over all these heathens. That tells you right there. This is the thing that Esther conducted right here. You know what I'm saying? Esther had this. This is how our sisters in the Isupk to conduct themselves the same way as Esther did. You know what I'm saying? So can you read that one more time from the top, verse 17?
Verse 17. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins.
Right. He loved Esther. That's how valuable she was. You know what I'm saying? And she obtained grace and favor in the sight more than all the virgins. Go ahead.
So that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
He made her queen instead of Vashti. Vashti didn't show up. So guess what? Esther stood out since she wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? So Vashti didn't even matter. This heathen, whatever her name is, Vashti didn't even matter. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast.
Right. You can stop right there. And the king made a great feast unto all his princes and all his servants, even Esther's feast right here. You know what I'm saying? Well, now we got a memorial, you know what I'm saying, of Esther today. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a feast, but we call it the Feast of Purim, right? That's what we're going to call it. And that's exactly what we're accommodating today, right? Which is Esther, right? So go ahead. You got
And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king.
Right.
Verse 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai in the king's gate. Verse 20. Esther had not yet showed her kindred nor her people.
Right.
As Mordecai had charged her.
Right. So Mordecai had charged her, like it says, she didn't. Esther had not showed her kindred nor her people, right? So her people were supposed to be around. She was supposed to charge towards her people. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to have some recognition. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to have, you know what I'm saying, for our nation of Israel. Our people wasn't even in the picture right now, right? But Mordecai had told her to do these things because they were on. She was a child of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So Israel's not even getting any you know what I'm saying, anything. And their sister Esther is there in this palace, in this kingdom, and our people not even there, right? We're not getting anything out of this. But Mordecai had charged her to do that, but she hasn't done it yet. So can you read it from the top again one time?
Verse 20.
Yeah.
Esther had not yet shewed her kindred. Esther had not yet shewed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandments of Mordecai, like as she was brought up with him.
Right.
Verse 21.
Right. Exactly. Like I just explained, Esther did like she was brought up with Mordecai because they were both the same people. You know what I'm saying? They came up with a tradition of them being together during memorials or coming together with feasts or any you know what I'm saying, functions that Israel had together, much like we have here tonight. You know what I'm saying? She didn't bring her people together like Mordecai had told her, because she was in a high position. She had the chance to tell, you know what I'm saying, King Ahasuerus to do that. You know what I'm saying? To put our people on, right? To put Israel on, you know what I'm saying, to be around for these things, man. This is exactly what Esther had the chance to do, but she has not done it yet, right? So go ahead, keep going.
Verse 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigdan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
Right. So while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, right? Two of the people that was important. I'm saying his people that stood beside him. Bigthon and Teresh, which kept the door. They kept the doors of the palace. They were wroth. That means they were angry and they were upset, right? And they sought to lay hand on King Ahasuerus. If anybody could answer, what is when the Bible explains that somebody laying hands on somebody? What does that mean? If anybody can answer, you got it,
Beat him up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to lay hands. They wanted to lay hands on King Ahasuerus because he was going against the traditions, right? That they had laid hand. You know what I'm saying? That they had laid down. So they wanted to lay hands on Ahasuerus. That don't mean catching the Holy Ghost, putting their hand on somebody's head and watching them do the worm on the floor. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's not what lay hand means in the Bible. They want to lay hands on him. That means they want to F him up. Right. If I keep it, you know what I'm saying, down. That's exactly what they wanted to do to him. Right? So they wasn't playing with him. They came to the point where they wanted to harm this man. This wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you slide. Let me come to the corner and just talk to you, to go to him and thee alone, or nothing like that. They wanted to do it. They wanted to do something, right? They want to lay hands on him, right? So go ahead, keep going.
Verse 22.
Uh-huh.
And the thing was known to Mordecai.
Where you stopped at?
Like, so we was at verse, what was that?
What chapter?
Chapter 2, sir.
Verse 22. Ooh, y'all left me 2 more, huh? That's what's up. A little warm in here, no? Is it me? Huh? It is. Somebody, we got air? We got fans? What we got? Turn it on. Get some air up in here. Leave that door open up. Put something to hold that door open. Oh, man. You behind me here? Yep. Hey, 1 2 1 2. We got any sound to this? Or it's just in the system? Okay, no problem. Hey, first of all, say again. Okay, first of all grace and mercy unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Give him a hand for all that he does for us every day. If we don't know it now, we're going to know shortly why it's so important to serve the Most High in Christ, and that we are absolutely nothing. The scriptures say the best of us is as what? Phil, Muhammad, you gave it away. I know you know. Hell, if anybody know, he know. You know, man. The best of us is as a filthy rag, but from mercy from the Most High, we could be more than a filthy rag. Esau would like to reduce us all back to an animal because that's all he believes we are. But the Most High decided to make us more than just an animal. He decided to give us laws, statutes, and commandments. And above all, he gave us mercy, which raised us up to be more than just an animal. That's right. And we should thank him every day for that. Second of all, I got to thank, is Natazak here? Natazak here? Bring him in right quick. I got to thank Captain Natazak. Give it up. Oh, man. Was doing such an amazing job. You and your whole camp down here done such an amazing job. This school looks absolutely fabulous. And the work y'all put in down here, I see you, mighty man, you know what I'm saying? And others doing such great work in the South, here in South Carolina, has been absolutely monumental and amazing. So give it up one more time. Officer Natazak. Hey, Thawad, I appreciate that. Yo, man. Now, we not Christians in here, so if you decide to offer me a little Jack Daniels, I won't turn you down. I promise you. I won't be offended. With a shot of Coca-Cola will put me right where I need to be. And I'm sure everybody else in there might want a shot too. I see a few of the sisters like, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Take one of them. Yeah, man. The brotherhood and sisterhood will prevail in here because of great men like Captain Natazak and other captains, Captain Naifak, who's just coming in now, holding down North Carolina. Give it up for him. Okay, don't worry. You know what I mean? They sitting in the low seats, but I got to give it up as usual for one of our top, if not near the top, General Muhammad. Please give it up for General Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? For the great work he puts in, you understand, all over the airs. Is Q? Where's Q at? Give it up here, right here. Give it up for General Q as well, holding this whole thing together for. Is General Katham here? General Katham Gabar up in the building. Where he at? Stand up for a second, please. General Katham Gabar. So we got generals in the building. So many famous cats up in here. Captain Tazaryak's in here. Captain, give it up, Captain Makad Abraham. Who am I missing? Captain Ashaparium. Give it up for him as well. Who am I missing? I know I'm missing some captains already, but we'll work it out then. I won't drag on much longer. We're going to get into these scriptures. We'll probably run for another hour. You understand? Heat prevailing, and we'll get it. You do your thing. You need it? Good. It's all yours. All right. You good? All right. Did I forget anything else before we go ahead in? Tonight is a hell of a night because once again, we get to celebrate a night that the Lord delivered out the children of Israel from another enemy. A lot of people are on the internet saying, well, you know, if you're going to sit around and wait, you know what I'm saying, for some God from the sky, I don't see how you're going to get anything done. Some of our people could be ignorant like the bottom of my shoe. Because first of all, because we wait on our King, Yahushua, it don't mean we sit around. How you going to say we sit around when we building schools all over the world? We building camps and schools all over the world. Somebody get a shot at this school. Somebody and save this shot for me. Somebody, oh, Barack up in there? All right, come on, Barack. You know what to do. Get a good shot at this school in here, and let's see if we sitting around. If we just sitting around in here. Waiting on the Most High does not mean we sit around. We don't do that in here. That's right. We work hard in here. We work our hands to the bone in here. And tonight, we're going to further talk about a brother and a sister who also worked their hands to the bone, who also was fearless when it was time to be fearless. It's a time when you got to get fearless. It's a time when danger is here, and now you got to step it up. And you got to do it in the name of the Most High. And this is what we're reading about tonight. Tell them where I want to go back to 1, but I ain't going to do it to y'all. I'm going to wait till tomorrow because I got some jewels in 1 and 2 I want to bring out. But I'm going to take it from where we at. Now, where we at? Anybody know? Go ahead.
Chapter 2, verse 22.
2 and 22. Let's get it.
Verse 22.
Okay. Wait, okay, I might back you up just a couple verses if you let me steal them. Can I go back? Can I go back to 16 on y'all? Go back to the 16th verse. We're going to run it from here, all right? Let me tell you something about it. You brothers and sisters too, you worked hard. You worked hard to bring the family order in. General Muhammad worked tirelessly from a young man to give you the understanding of how to have a family, how to raise children. And brother, you about to see the year of the sister. This ain't don't mean, you know, the year of making sisters carnal. You about to see righteous sisters crush the souls of wicked sisters. That's right. That's what you're going to see this year. Right. You're going to see, and I ain't bigging y'all up. I mean, I'm giving y'all a little hand. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I don't give the women hardly no accolades. Why they hate me so much. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. But this will be the year that righteous sisters will finally overthrow the demon that is on wicked sisters, which is why Satan is pushing it so hard. Sexy Red. What's that one with the little afro that was on in the football game? Ice Spice. There's plenty of them. The Dominican sister from the TV show. Cardi B. The other sister, the one that did the song with her. About the whole wet and juicy thing. Like they pushing that. But they pushing that because you coming up through having great husbands, great brothers, and having faith. And tonight, we about to watch a sister that was on a level. And I pray that both brothers and sisters can learn from this and add this to us. Don't tell me about no other book. Like that book got something for me to learn. That's right. I'm not looking for Anunnakis, green tablets, little green men, or whatever the hell you looking for. I got my answers right here. And all the other answers is right here. I'm done. Take it from 16. Let's ride.
Verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus.
That's right. Speak up nice and loud. Bring that mic up close. Come
into
on.
the house of the royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
Because like a heathen, this is what he did. This is how he operated. He had the women come in the harem. And then to marry them, he would go deal with them one time. And if he didn't like them or whatever, he sent them back to the second house, and they'd live their life out in this second house with the eunuchs. If he liked them, then he would call them back up, and they could come on up. And they couldn't even call on him. They had to put in like a notice to call on him, you know what I mean, before they could come back up. But that's how a heathen operates. And so she was caught up into that. But this sister, man, was a heavy sister, as we're going to see. Go ahead. Because, and listen, because she believed in the Most High, and Mordecai did too. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And the king loved Esther above all the women.
Of course, she was a Hebrew Israelite. Our women are the best, hands down, no questions asked. Who was it that put it out there on one time up on Twitter or something about black women being the best women, and the damn internet went crazy? Y'all remember that? Oh, General Shalmar's in there. Big shout out to General Shalmar. Salam, y'all. I ain't see you over there hiding in there quietly, man. Salam. Anybody remember who put that out? I think the Coke on the side. Oh, you got it. Yeah. Coca-Cola. Or Pepsi. Go ahead, Doc.
So I don't know who put it out, but he probably got it from you.
So no, it got, you know, it was the grace and mercy of the Most High that handed this down to us, and now we all got it. You know what I'm saying, in this body. But somebody put it out there, and it started a storm on the internet. Read on, Doc.
And she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. Verse 18. Then the king made a great.
Come on up here. Come on up here. You're gonna read from right here for me, all right? We're gonna share that microphone. I don't want to be yelling all the whole time. Can he reach up here? All right. Give me one more cup if I could. One more cup. What? Can you do it? I'm sorry to disrupt, fam. Bear with me 1 second. We're gonna get to it. You good? You good? Looking good. A little more. A little more. Give me more.
Get another cup.
A little more. A little more. Yeah, sit down. To what? I appreciate it. Good. There you go.
Verse 17. And the king loved Esther above all women, and she obtained favor, so like she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Right. And remember, Vashti had a palace. Vashti had a palace, had servants, had wealth. He took all of it from her and gave it to one of our sisters. Now you do that, the so-called Jew do that to one of our sisters, and the average sister today, and that's the end of that sister. She's destroyed, corrupt. She hates black men after that. She promotes black men. These sisters getting these record contracts to totally decimate our young daughters, including Beyonce. All of them. Beehive come for me if they want to. I'll come for them. Be the beekeeper in about 2 seconds. Like, they all destroyed our daughters and are still destroying our daughters. So where I start asking questions like, why is this happening? Because our sisters who fall into those positions don't have the fortitude to stand up to the evil that's done to us. Give me some more. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces in great gifts according to the state of the king. Verse 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat in the king's gate. Verse 20. Esther had not yet shewed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her.
Let me tell you something, Mordecai was a genius. And Esther was amazing. He told her all this wealth and all this power and all this gold and all this jewelry you got, don't flash it. Don't be flashing it. Don't be blinging it. Put it away. And she didn't tell nobody about it. And she was wealthy after getting with that king. Our people now, they done just try to destroy us so bad that now we get a crumb from the slave master. And we floss it in front of our brothers and sisters and destroy them. And why are you going to show a Rolls Royce to poor people and floss on them knowing they can't get that Rolls Royce? Every preacher doing it, every rapper doing it, they doing it. You say the Bible is a made-up book. The Bible got better strategy about life than you ever would have out here in these streets. Every answer you ever want, that's one verse. I'm on one verse, and that one verse is explaining exactly what you do when you in captivity under another nation and you come up.
Right.
What do? You don't go flossing down the street like a gremlin with what the Lord done opened the door for you. Then you wonder why we having shootouts, why they breaking in your crib, why they doing this and doing that. Because you ain't thinking. You ain't thinking according to the scriptures. Mordecai was thinking that way. He told her, yo, you got all that gold and all that now? Put it away. Don't be showing nobody that. And here's the deep part. That sister was on the level, and what did it say? She did it as he said. Remember, this is the queen of an empire that stretches. We got a map in here? We got a map. I'll show you how big this damn empire is. This empire was huge. It encompassed all our lands. It encompassed everywhere damn near that they fighting right now in that Middle East. This king owned it all. And all of them was bringing gold and silver and jewels back to him. That's how rich they were. He gave her not a house. He gave her a palace, which today you would call a mansion. And she had all that and didn't flex none of it. And listen, and then she didn't have to listen to Mordecai. She could have been like, man, I done came up. What I'm listening to you for? I done came up. This is how sisters of the Lord work. Go ahead, What?
For Esther did the commandments of Mordecai, like as when she brought up with him.
Like, just read that part. Don't even roll past it. Read that part again. This is a heavy. The second half of this verse, listen, I should just teach one verse in class. I don't even know why I'm teaching all these verses, man. Because we got so much more than the world, they really only need to learn one verse at a time.
Right.
Right or wrong. They can't get one verse down when we got so much of the Lord's wisdom and knowledge that he put together. Read that second half. Somebody else break it down, because maybe I'm just tripping. Read that.
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she brought up with him.
Now, somebody break that down for me. Somebody please, don't y'all make me look like I'm crazy. Somebody in here, tell me the significance of what he just read. Read it one more time for me.
For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she brought up with him.
Come on now.
It's like it's saying that Esther followed the traditions and everything that she grew up on with Mordecai, how Mordecai and her family of Israel had taught her.
Anybody want to add something? Go ahead,
She did what she was told.
Anybody else? Go ahead,
She listened to him like she listened to him. She was a little girl.
Say that again now. Everybody was right. But say that again.
She listened to him the way she listened to him. She was a little girl.
That was heavy, That's a bad sister right here. She listened to Mordecai like she listened to him when she was a little girl and he took her in. She was like a little girl. When Mordecai came, it was like her daddy came. And it didn't matter how big that palace was, or that gold, or that servants. She had servants. She had people that would kill for her. Guard her house. He couldn't even go up there. Said he was on outside the gate. He couldn't even go up in there. But she obeyed Mordecai, brother, like as if she was a little child. She followed what he said, did what he said. She had confidence in Mordecai because he carried himself in that right spirit. He carried himself the way he's supposed to carry himself, like a man of God with real laws and principles, man, and discipline and righteousness, you know what I mean, and forgiveness and repentance when you make a mistake. Thinking that you can't make a mistake is ridiculous. But when you make a mistake, do you have the wherewithal to come back to your brother and say, you know what, I did you wrong. I did you wrong. I apologize, man, and go back and correct it. If you can't do that, you flawed, and you better work on it, because that's part of you being an expert man of the Most High. You understand? And gaining the confidence of brothers and sisters that is coming into the truth. This was a bad dude, man, and he raised, and again, if you do what the Most High says to do, you the one the Lord gonna come choose. He gonna come get you. He gonna say, I got a mission for you. Like, why out of all the sisters, remember they ruled all Israel. Remember when the cat Hammond came to get them, they said that these people are spread throughout the whole empire. Why is it that the Lord had the king fall in love with this one particular sister under Mordecai, who wasn't even his daughter? This is her uncle. I mean, this was his uncle's daughter, his father's brother's daughter. He took her in and raised her up like she was his own. Like, that is the level. That's what we fell from. And we about to get that back, fam. We about to get it. We about to take that back. We're not about to let that lay. All these old nasty songs, we're not letting that lay. That ain't laying no more. We about to change all of that. We sitting around waiting on the sky to open. You better hope we wait. We better hope we wait. You wake up tomorrow morning and see niggas hanging from trees. Edomites and everybody else. You better hope we wait. We getting to work up in here. So I should have said that. Once again, I can repent. I ain't mean that. Especially the TikTok. Y'all know we just talking. Salah. Come on. Go ahead.
Verse 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those who kept the door, were wroth and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus.
That's right. They sought to lay hands on this king. Now, this is a heathen. His people plot on him. The same cat that they hate, who stand for the Most High, also stood for principles. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it unto Esther.
Brothers, pass us some chairs over here, get some more, so we can get some of these sisters in. Fill that aisle up if you have to. Y'all, let's tighten it up, because we got more people still coming in. All right, some sisters too. Go ahead, Salah.
Verse 22.
You got empty chairs, pass them over here. Somebody give Nathaka a chair. Yeah, there you go. Line that row. Go ahead, Salah.
Verse 22. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it to Esther the queen.
And listen, these cats were working. These are heathens. They working in the palace and all that, but they trusted and respected Esther and went to her and told her, yo, they trying to kill the king. Go ahead.
And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name.
Let me get that. You hear what he said? Esther certified the king certified it in Mordecai's name. She didn't do it in her own name. She didn't puff herself up. She went to the king and said, Mordecai did this. Now that's a deep system. She gave the glory to Mordecai because Mordecai raised her right and raised her up in the spirit of the Most High. So she gave him the recognition because he knew what he was doing. And we already read the part where she went and chased him down when she first found out. When they first heard this was happening, y'all know the part of the story I'm talking about. When they first heard this happen, right? And she went and sent messages to Mordecai. Did we get to that yet? Huh? We passed that part? Anybody know? All right, I want you to find that part for me. I'm gonna come back to it. Read.
Verse 23. And when inquisition was made, Salakia, and when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
And that day is going to come when these records are all pulled out of these kingdoms. If they go into these wars, they all act like there's no record of those Israelites. There's no record of them. It's a damn lie. All them records are sitting in them kingdoms, buried underground, because they don't want them so-called Jews, the small hats, to figure out that that the Hebrews really was in all these kingdoms, because it's going to make them feel great. So they wait, but just wait long enough. All them countries going to break out in the war, and of course Esau going to go in there and steal all their records. They just stole everything out of Iraq. They gutted Iraq's treasures. Them treasures are sitting in all kind of private museums up in UNESCO everywhere. Eventually they'll bring them out because they got to puff themselves up. And we'll get a hold of even more of them great records of us. It's written in the record that Mordecai, the Hebrew, delivered this king's life, man. Go ahead.
Chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agadiah,
Do your best. That's right. Go ahead.
And advance him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him.
What verse you in?
Verse 2.
Chapter 3, verse 2. If everybody want to get with us, chapter 3, verse 2, fam. Okay? This is our real records, man. These are our real records. We trying to figure out how to be based on some other nation's records. We sitting up there reading their books, their records, trying to learn from the East Indian, trying to learn from the Arabs, trying to learn from all the other nations instead of learning from us. Instead of learning from us, when we got the best records in the world, with all the nuances of what makes us us, down to our slang, is in these records in the scriptures. That's all we need, and we're gonna be amazing. Come on now.
Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed in reverence Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Verse 3.
Let me get in on that now. See, you see a man of God. Can you feel that? Everybody bowed to this cat. This cat was powerful in that kingdom. That's a big kingdom. I'm hoping we get a map. If we get a map, we're gonna pull it up. That if it ain't one, don't worry about it. We can pull it up later. But here's the thing: that empire was huge, and this cat was powerful next to the king under that entire empire. And it drowned him. And it drowned him, and it also shows you why heathens can't be in charge. They can't handle that level of power. Rulership on the earth belongs to the Yahushua and to the men that he chose. That's why he told the 12, ye 12 shall sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. The Lord already has the order of things to be on this earth. You can't give it to no heathen. Esau got in charge. Look at the planet. Look at the planet right now, because you got the wrong man in charge. So this cat got in charge, and of course, the demon of Satan always comes up against the power of the Most High. You could be in the hood, in poverty, working on a menial job, but something about you on that job pisses that boss off. He already over you. He already your boss. What the hell is his problem? See, we got to go on our records to know. What's his problem? But he can't get enough. He got to suck the soul out of you. You got to grovel. You got to give up your whole spirit. Mordecai wasn't that type of dude. He wasn't like that. He stood up against what wasn't right. He didn't give these cats honor who didn't deserve honor. As far as Mordecai was concerned, he gave them the greatest treasure he had, which was a wonderful system. What more did he have to bow to this cat for? When one of his great daughters is sitting up there in their kingdom, you understand, about to be used any way the king wanted to use it. What do you got to bow for now? Come on now.
Verse 3. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Verse 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them. They told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
Right. He told them straight up when they came to him. He said, look, I'm a Jew. He's actually a Benjamite. But back then they called them Jews because the kingdom was split. So Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was in one half, and the other 10 and a half tribes, half of Levi and the other 10 tribes, had already been destroyed. So they called them Jews, just like a combination. So he was telling them, look, I'm a Jew. We don't bow down to no man. We don't worship no man like an idol. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. Verse 6. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had shewed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus.
Right. Now, can you feel that for a second, man? This monster, this heathen, that's why being under a heathen is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. It's being under this heathen and not bowing, one brother, not bowing, now the whole empire bowing to this guy. Everybody in the empire bowing to him, everybody acknowledging this guy, everybody reverencing him, sending him gifts, loving him, all of that, because of the power and authority that the king gave him. And of course, that still is not enough for a heathen. It's still not enough for a heathen that the whole empire bowed to. He got to now destroy all of Mordecai's people just because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him. And brother, that's what you're going to be coming up against. And you're going to win. Come on.
Verse 7. In the first month, that is the month Nisan,
Go ahead.
in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast her, that is the lot before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is month Adar. Verse 8. And Haman,
and just so you know, in other words, they was heavy. Okay, need another one. You need one of the whole area, all the way down to Africa, all the way through India. Get another bigger one. Now I thought I could get it for you. What I was gonna say is, okay, that this show you how evil this cat was. He sat down and cast lots on the left-hand side to pick the day that he was going to slaughter all the children of Israel. He didn't even go get the permission from the king yet. He just sat there and worked with his witches and sat up there and figured out what day we gonna do. And they cast in lots. What day we gonna wipe these people out? And they came up with a day that was a year later. So they had a year plotting to wipe us off of the face of the earth. And brother, you can best believe this empire and all empires come to that conclusion, because you cannot keep the children of Israel in captivity. They eventually going to rise above you. And you're going to be jammed up, and then you're going to want to wipe us the hell out. And then, of course, then the Lord is coming for us. That's what we're watching right now. Don't let them put fear in you because we see our brothers and sisters coming across the border. Let white people worried about that. They should be worried about that because that's their kingdom fault. We ain't got to worry about that. It just means you got to split a bowl of beans and rice. What the hell? You've been splitting them anyway. It means you get half a bowl of soup now instead of a whole bowl. What you crying for? You ain't had nothing but a crumb anyway in this kingdom. So that ain't for you to worry about. We to win them tribes, man. The Lord bringing them together. Come on with it now. But they gonna put the propaganda out in the news to push it like, oh, they criminals, they this, they that. Ain't nobody gonna talk about what them Ukrainians doing right now. I guarantee you they setting up all kind of white supremacist organizations. All kinds of gangs they setting up. and doing all kind of organized crime while they sitting across the United States, and you ain't gonna hear nothing about it.
Right.
Go ahead, huh?
Verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse, and their laws are diverse from all people.
Well, let me come in on that number now. Let me tell you something, Mark. We are not a mystery. We are the lost 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And as we go back to our identity, we begin to realize who we are and how we sit in every kingdom. You heard how he said these are people that are different than every other people. Their laws are different. They are like a strange people. And they don't benefit us by being here. Have we not heard that? We need to clean out the ghetto. We need more prisons. They all lazy and sitting around getting the welfare. I mean, every year, the presidential debate is over how much welfare you gonna give black people. Every year, it gotta be a conversation about how much welfare we get. Meanwhile, they still ain't stopped them East Indians who's stealing billions of dollars from Medicaid. Medicaid being robbed like a crackhead robbed you. Take everything from you. That's how Medicaid is robbing them. And of course, no, you don't hear nothing about it. You don't hear nothing about it. Come on.
Neither keep they the king's laws. Neither keep they the king's laws.
Right. We the criminals. One more time. We the criminals in the kingdom. We the ones that's looked at as the criminals, as the ones that don't follow the laws and follow the rules. Meanwhile, they've been beating us down for years and years. And in that kingdom, they did too. We suffered hell under the Persians and the Medes. Not only that, they went down before that and went into Jerusalem and slaughtered the brothers and sisters in Jerusalem and carried them away. Mordecai was one of them. Him and his stepdaughter got carried out of Jerusalem all the way up to Shushan, which is up in Iraq somewhere. That's where he had to be dragged up to. That's where the king's palace was. This is in Iraq, for those that may not know. These are Iraqis, the supposed Iraqis, because who knows who the people are over there? They mostly Greeks. But traditionally, these would be who we would call Iraqi people. Go ahead. Oh, you found it. Okay. Can you zoom in? Yeah. Zoom in and give me the tip of Africa, the Middle East, and India. Go ahead. The water too.
Therefore, it is not for the king's prophet.
You good? You got sound? Yeah. Go ahead.
Salaki. Therefore, it is not for the king's prophet to suffer them. Verse 9. If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver and 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have charge of the business to bring it into the king's treasury.
In other words, what this cat is saying is, listen, king, I work for you, but I'll pay you 10,000 talents of silver if you let me go kill these black people. I'll give you 10,000 talents of silver. Just let me go wipe them out. We'll show you why you can't have a kingdom filled with corruption. And you sure can't have a kingdom where the Lord's chosen people is under another nation, because that nation wake up tomorrow over jealousy because somebody don't bow down to them and use their money and influence to destroy your whole nation. And that's what's happening to us every day. All your laws that's being passed to destroy us is because some white supremacist sitting in some high seat with wealth and power, he just decide and he just decide and buy off a politician. For you know it, your life is destroyed. Once again, the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Lord. Huh? It's foolishness to the Most High. Because you sitting up there trying to win elections and join different parties and this and that, when they buying the politicians like you buy a $2 hoe in Hunts Point. You understand? And then you sitting up there expecting something actually to happen. The only way the earth runs right is righteousness set up and the bloodline of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is in charge of the planet, because they were the ones the Lord designated and created to be in that line.
That's right.
You understand? Nobody else but Yahushai and his descendants that's going to rule this earth. That's how the earth is set up right. Not by these heathens. Give me some more. Huh? Let's go.
Verse 10. And the king took his ring from his head. Salaki, and the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha.
There you go.
The Agag,
Yep. That's it.
the Jews' enemy.
Can you put it up there? Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee.
He was going to kill, this cat was going to kill all our people because somebody wouldn't bow down to him. Like, and you want us to work in harmony with heathens? You want us to look at them in some form of respect and adulation? You want to look at us to look at their combination? I'm going to do what Mordecai does. I'm not going to pay them no mind. I'm not going to look at them in no kind of level of respect and honor because they're not worthy of it. And that's how you be a real man of the Most High. Come on with it out. We're going a little bit more, y'all. We're going to go to the end of 4, right? Oh, sorry. We'll go to the end of 4. We'll go to the end of 4, and then we'll come back. You know, we'll do the other half tomorrow night up in North Carolina. Go ahead. What is it?
Verse 12. Then were the king's
Sorry to
scribes
put y'all through all this, y'all.
on the 13th day of the first month.
Perfect. Let's turn it out.
And they were written according to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's lieutenants and to the governors that were over every province and to the rulers of every people of every province, according to the writing thereof.
Can we get in on this? Now, you hear all this that the brothers read. All of this took place because some cat got jealous he couldn't be worshipped. All of this. And that's what goes on with us too. All these laws and rules and all these things to oppress us and to destroy us and to cut us off and incarcerate us. All these things, man, is because some cat just decided he had enough power and he decided to work against us on it. Go ahead. Make a big screen. I'm perfect.
And to every people after their language, in the name of King Ahasuerus was it written and sealed with the king's ring. Verse 13. And the letters were sent by post into all the king's province to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar.
That's the month he cast lots for. And now you know the seriousness of the job you have. Because when you in the heathen's hands, they can wake up tomorrow and decide they want to wipe you out. Are we sitting around? Hell no, we're not sitting around. We building against this evil that's been going on for so many years. Looking and seeking of the day that our king returned. But certainly not sitting around. Certainly working towards it. Because they can decide anything. And listen, you got the worst of the worst among Esau. Esau is worse than all the other heathen. So he can wake up tomorrow and decide, you know what? We done had enough with these blacks and these Latinos and these ghettos and all that. There's Edomites right now got bills and laws on the table where they just want to remove us from these cities. They want them cities back. They got all this infrastructure, all this real estate. They want it all back and want us out. And you think they ain't got a problem? The day will come where they will try it. But the Most High's day is in that day too, as we're going to see on the second half of this. I just want to show y'all this right quick if I could. Just to give you an idea if you don't know how big this kingdom is. Okay? This is China right here. Can y'all see that over there? Not really, right? Bear with me 1 second. No, just chill. Give me 1 second. I'll swing it back, sisters, all right? In a second. Let me show you something here, y'all. This is how big this kingdom was. This is India over here, right? This is Egypt over here. This is Ethiopia down here, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Turkey. This cat's kingdom, can y'all see it? No, no, yes. This kingdom was so big that this cat ran Egypt, part of Egypt, all of this is Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, Iraq, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and all of India. All of this. The whole damn Middle East. This is how big his kingdom was. Was y'all able to see that or no? That's how big his kingdom was. And this cat, with all that love and power and respect, Mordecai didn't bow down to him. It still wasn't enough. He had to go and exterminate a whole nation of people. He had to seek to exterminate Salakia. He had to seek to exterminate a whole nation of people. The Lord's chosen people should never be enslaved under another people, man. That's right. We should never be enslaved under them. We should never take on the identity of any other nation on the face of the earth. Give it up for the Most High for delivering us every time out of it. Do your best with it. Do your best with it. I know I'm knocking it down. Probably my hand on it. Go ahead. Let's go. A little bit longer. What verse you at?
Verse 14. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready against that day. Verse 15. The post went out, being hesitant by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan the palace, and the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed.
You understand? Meaning the city was perplexed because, not on. Did I kill it, y'all? You done? It's done? Can we done? We done with it. All right, don't sweat. Appreciate it. Okay, the city they sat down and had a drink. They didn't even care. They were getting ready to wipe all our people out and exterminate us. Yeah, you can move it now. You want to bring it back down? Yeah, go and bring it back down. The water, too, for allowing us to do it. You got it? I just want everybody to see how big that kingdom was. And we were spread throughout that entire kingdom. Now, we spread through that entire kingdom. These two fools that's running this enormous empire, these two idiots decide to exterminate us and sit down and have a drink. And the capital city is sitting up there like, what the hell are y'all doing? What are what's happening? They were perplexed. Why are you exterminating all these people? Go ahead.
Chapter 4, verse 1. When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city and cried with a loud and a bitter cry.
Let me tell you something, Ma. That's what you doing on them street corners. All I see you brothers doing is on the corners cursing people out. I don't see you brothers actually doing anything because you don't know what it looks like when somebody's doing something. You don't understand what it looks like. Mordecai went out in that street out and blazed them streets up. Why? To get the word of the Most High out. To get the word of the Most High out that the heathens were seeking to destroy us. He got in them streets. He got in them alleys. He got in them roads. That's what we do in the UPK. That's why we do it. Our king ordered us to do it. And our history calls for it. Mordecai hit the streets and began to teach and speak like we do in here. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 2. And came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate cloth with sackcloth.
Because he put on sackcloth to do the speaking. When a man put on sackcloth among our people, it was a sign of mourning. So everybody knew something was wrong. That's why he put it on. Everybody knew when you put on sackcloth in our kingdom, everybody knew there was a death here. So they would ask you, why you got sackcloth on? What's going on? And then you would tell them, because the king's decree came down that we all are to be slaughtered in here. Mordecai knew how to gather the brothers and sisters up tell me about your plan and program and your religion and all that. I'm going teaching, man. I'm going to the speaking. I can't wait for camp this Saturday in North Carolina. Get it on. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank Nine Doc, because that 13-hour drive, boy, y'all almost ain't see a nigga. I picked up Nine Doc in D.C. By the time we hit North Carolina, I said, Nine Doc, I don't know what. I was mumbles by then. Nine Doc, a old road dog. He's used to that run. He said, no, sir, it's only 5 hours. He said, it's only 5 hours, boy. I said, come on, man, we going. We got it on in and got down this road, man. Because I wanted to see y'all, man, and see this great work that Captain Natazak put together, man, with all the brothers and sisters down here. And it's absolutely amazing, man. Damn right. And the Spirit of the Lord will be in here with us. All right, we're going a little bit more, about 15 more minutes to chapter 5. Let's go. For chapter 4, rather. We in 4. This is the last chapter we're doing today. We do the second half, all right, when we get back up in North Carolina. Let's go. Tell them where you at.
Chapter 4, verse 3. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was a great mourning among the Jews, and fasting and weeping and wailing.
That's what's supposed to be among us. When we go out and teach and show our brothers and sisters the danger they're in, what is happening to us, how the drugs was poured on us, how the music is controlled by the small acts to brainwash you and to break up your family, how your children are being sexualized in school, how your men are being pushed into the LGBTQ community, which they've been working on since the 80s in Johns Hopkins University on how to turn your son into a sodomite and your daughter into a lesbian. They've been working on it. And when we bring those out, our people are supposed to say, man, you right. We in a bad situation. And they supposed to put on sackcloth. But our people are destroyed. Our battle today is even more difficult than it was during the days of Mordecai. He hit the street and told them what was happening. They were smart enough and intelligent enough and had their identity long enough to know we can still go to battle and try to fix our lives. And it gets even better, man, how this happened. This story right here, I don't know about y'all, but this story right here, this story moved the hell out of me, man. This should be a movie, the way this went down. The way this brother and his niece went and they delivered a nation. Hold it now. This brother and his niece delivered an entire nation out of the hands of, at that time, the most powerful kingdom on earth. Don't tell me to fear America, man. I don't fear America, goddammit. I fear the Most High, but he can destroy America tonight if he decides to. Give me some more, huh? Nice and loud.
Verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it to her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent raiment to clothe Mordecai.
Let me tell you something, y'all hear this on me, man. You better go to Muhammad and do that 6-month rule and ask his counsel before you get a wife. You better listen to him. He know what he's talking about. Don't you go out there and get that old alley cat you've been looking at every day at work. You better leave that damn thing. You better come to work with a Geiger counter. She radioactive. Get you a sister that change her heart, a whole soul to become new. Because what you about to read is one of the baddest sisters Israel ever had. That had the strength and wherewithal to do what she did. First thing she did was she rich. She in the palace. First thing she did, she went and got her servants and sent clothes and stuff down there to put on Mordecai so he can take them rags off. He in the streets in them rags out at full out war. Mordecai in them streets. We got to get together. We got to come on, get it right. He in them streets warring to bring them brothers together. And she see he disrupting the whole kingdom. And she say, yo, y'all go down there, man. Send him some nice clothes. Let's make him feel better, man. Check out what Mordecai said. Read.
And to take away his sackcloth from him.
Right. They wanted to take them sackcloth from him because of what he was doing. Go ahead.
But he received it not. Verse 5.
He didn't take them clothes. He said, no, send them back to her. I know what I'm doing. Send them back to her. Go ahead.
Then he called Esther for Hatak, one of the king's chamberlains, who had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai to know what it was, Salaki, what it was, and why it was.
Now she was flexing her queen powers. She gave those servant the commandments. You tell Mordecai, I want to know what's going on. Like he refusing these clothes. He acting up. I want to know what's going on. Why is he acting this way? As a servant, he got power. This servant got power. He run down to Mordecai like, yo, the queen want to know what's going on. Now here's how Mordecai handled his business. Go ahead, Ak. That's why a man of God, Ak, is like the Lord said, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. If you stepped into the realm of the Lord and truly stand with the Lord and put your spirit down with the Most High, He gonna make something out of you that you never knew could be made out of you. He gonna reform and shape you out into something that the world is not ready to receive. And you're gonna do things for the Lord and for your nation that in this kingdom and in this hell, nobody believed you could do it. But we gonna damn do it. You hear me? We gonna do it. We're going to be filled with the spirit of the Most High in Christ. Right. Give it to me. Give me this badass brother.
Verse 6. So Hatak went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate.
Why are we in the streets? That's where you are when it comes to the work of the Most High, when the nation's in danger. Why are we on them corners teaching? That's where you are. When your nation is destroyed and you here to become a man to stand up for what's right. And get your brothers and sisters out of that grave. What we did up there in New York, and really everywhere, what the brothers did across the border in Mexico, in California, down. Did we do any down here yet? I don't even remember everywhere we did them at. Yeah, go ahead, Katham. There you go. Baltimore. Woo! Most High in Christ. That's right, brother. That's right. What y'all did in Baltimore, what was amazing about Baltimore was that we didn't know black people were starving so much. We didn't know black people in Baltimore were so damn hungry and trying to damn survive. Like, we in a devastating state. While some stink ass hoe is up on the stage shaking her ass, our people can't feed themselves. You know, we're in a really, really bad situation. And you got to be in that spirit of Mordecai to even see it, to even consider it and say, yo, what is going on with us? And then it's supposed to make you like him. It's supposed to make you want to put on them garments and put on them rags and get your ass out there and change these brothers' lives and rage against the evil that's being pushed on us to wipe us the hell out. Right. You're supposed to want to do it. Come on, give me some more, Mordecai. We almost done. 9 minutes. We're going to be wrapping.
Verse 7. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay the king's treasuries.
All right, now, brother, can you imagine how Mordecai must feel? Like, this is why a man of God got to be like granted inside. First of all, the average dude get a chance to kiss Haman's ass, this heathen, just because of the power and money he has. The average dude would just kiss his ass just on the straight up. Excuse me, TikTok. Sorry, y'all. The average dude would have just kissed his behind, just simply because he in that level of power. But then when the cat turned on him and started to go to kill his people, the average brother would have been guilt-ridden. He'd have ran back and been like, let me bow down to this dude, because he's going to kill all of us. Let me try to, appease this dude, because he's going to harm us. Mordecai didn't do that. But you best believe he was in hell right there. And now this servant come from his niece, who he raised as a baby, rightly, and ordered him to tell him what's going on. Mordecai is devastated at this point. He's shook. because of what's happening, but it's the Lord in it. That's why when you're back up against the wall and you warring for this truth and you down with this brotherhood and you done got your orders, I don't give a damn what it look like. You go face the lion in the den, goddammit, and be mad that the lion is there. You understand? That's what you do in this truth. And that's what this brother had to deal with, because this is a devastating, like they make light of this. They partying and go over there in Israel right now. They playing music and dancing. This real business here. This is real. This really how life can go when you in the hands of the heathen. That's why don't nobody want to go read it. Then they want to act like this ain't the book. This the book. This the solution right here. I ain't got to read nothing else. This cat was in hell. I can't even imagine being there. Could you imagine all America is now going to kill all the brothers and sisters because of you? Because you wouldn't bow down to this one dude. So now you the one, everybody, the whole nation looking at you like, this nigga, man. All he had to do was tell Hammond, yo, what's up? You know, man, the nigga running shit. Why you ain't act right, nigga? Could have got you a Benz or something, nigga. Instead, you all up in there, all twisted face, mad mouth about this bullet. I'm just telling you how we would think of it now. You know what I'm saying? But really, he walking with the Most High. Somebody had their hand up? Go ahead, Kato. Most High Christ through our King Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? Damn right, through our King Yahushua. You know what I mean? Damn right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all listen. And y'all got courage. That's why I'll never leave y'all side. I will never, ever, ever abandon these cats, no matter what, because I've seen their courage firsthand. Like I tell everybody, you want to see the state that Muhammad was in before he came to me. Go find that picture with me giving out. I had the red garment on. I'm giving out that food to that sister with the dreadlock. And go look at Muhammad. Muhammad look about 60 pounds. Salaki, General. I know I put him on the spot every time. But brother, he spent about 6 months with me and turned into a monster. And he been a monster ever since. And I love everything about it. Like, you see how he's sitting there? I love it. I love it. I be sitting there, I love it. I be encouraged, all that. With all the generals, all that. They halfway can't control them. I halfway I be ready to smack them. Because all the generals is halfway be out of control. I argue with Q every week. Me and Q argue every week. Every week we argue about everything. Q, listen, Q come to Philly, right? I said, Q, come on up and do some hygienic work and check this house out for me. Q gonna check the house out, argue with me a half hour. I'm trying to tell him, Q, but the house up. Man, you're playing around. The house is fine. Y'all let the generals talk with me like that. He argued with me a half hour. I can't say shit. Because Q was standing next to me on 8th and H when niggas wanted to kill us. And he did not goddamn flinch. He did not bitch up. I can't say nothing. So I can't deny we ain't gonna agree on everything. But I love them, man. And not just them, man. Other captains that have come through and all of y'all. Now, I may not see and know you, but I know your works. And that's how Christ said I would know you. I'm down here now because I know not to Isupk's works. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at what y'all done. And the beautiful gun range didn't drive me at all. That ain't alter me at all. But boy, we had a time yesterday, man. But that's what we got to build. There's a righteousness among us that the world don't want us to get back. And we looking for it in all the wrong damn places. We got to go look for it where it's at, which is in these scriptures under the order of our king. Right. Let's get it on. I'm going back. Where we at? Tell them where you are.
I'm still in chapter 4, part of verse 7.
Go ahead.
Promised to pay the king's treasuries for the Jews to destroy them. Verse 8. Also he gave him a copy of the writing and the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to shew it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king to
Let me get some paper towels.
supplications unto him.
Right. Let me stop you for a second. Brother, this is such a heavy part in these scriptures that we read. This cat came down to check Mordecai and say, yo, man, what? Give me a couple more. This cat came down to check Mordecai and said, why, what's going on here? Why did all this happen? And now Mordecai got to tell the queen who been living in the palace that I'm the cause of all this uproar that's about to get everybody killed. And I'm the cause of this uproar because I would not bow down to him. Now she in the palace. Now the average sister, that's a death sentence to tell her that. But she gonna say, well, that's your fault. You should have bowed down to him. You know he in power. Why you ain't bow down to him? That's the average sister. And Mordecai knew it, and he still gave her a command. He said, I'm sending you back up in there. Tell your queen that she got to go in there and face the king and get this thing stopped. And check out how he broke it down. Read it from where he said, and he gave her a commandment. Thank you so much, John. Read it from that part, because now you got something.
Also, he gave him, you said from the commandment?
From when Mordecai checked the servant that came from Esther. Give me from there. In the middle of that verse that you was just at. You was right there. Go right up on the top of that verse you at. Yeah, from the top of that verse.
Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given at Shushan to destroy them, to shew it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king.
You hear that? He went and said, also, I'm charging her. Tell her, and it's a lot for an average brother. But now he got to go tell the queen what to do. His niece, who he raised, go in there and tell the king what's going on and stop them from killing the Lord's chosen people. Go ahead,
to make supplication unto him and to make request before him for her people.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. And Hatak came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Verse 10. Again, Esther spake unto Hatak and gave him commandment unto Mordecai.
Now this is where the sister come back deep. Remember now, Mordecai raised this girl up from young. And she listened to Mordecai like she did when she was a child. She had confidence in Mordecai. And that's why we got to fix us also. Because if we fix all these brothers out here and the nonsense out here, these sisters will be compelled to be in the right spirit. And if they learn right, they'll be in the right spirit. And guess what? We'll have a nation out that everybody running around looking for emerald tablets won't even understand what the hell is going on. I'm not reading no Arab's book. I don't need to. They over there in Afghanistan blowing their wives up in the stove. She go to put on food to feed this fool. The stove blow up and burn the broad up in their country. And you want me to go listen to them? I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Go read my own goddamn book. We don't blow up. We don't rig the stove. Like they such terrorists, they gonna blow the bitch up. They gonna commit terrorism on the broad. You married to the broad, you commit terrorist act. Come on, man. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. But I am impressed with this. Read this.
Verse 11. All the king's servants and the people of the king's province do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death.
Right. If you come before the king's court and you not been called, it's a death sentence if the king don't put the scepter out and bring you in. So you go before that court trying to petition that king, you better hope he put that scepter out. He don't put that scepter out, it's a death sentence. And she's saying that to say to Mordecai, you know what you asking me. Show you how bad she was. She said, now I'll go, but you know what you asking me. You asking me to go possibly die over this issue that's been created. But she did it so right, meaning she asked him. She tried to explain it. She didn't just tell him, I ain't doing that. Are you kidding? I can get myself killed. She's letting him know what you asking me to do, I can get myself killed. Go ahead, Al.
You know what's so heavy about what you're saying is that a lot of these women, when they read in the Bible or they listening to someone else, they don't see that like the worth of what women are worth in the Bible.
Because you can't see it if you got a sodomite teaching. If you got a man telling you to get swallowed, come on, man. How is getting swallowed gonna make you ain't gonna understand this? You're gonna be thinking about swallowing. Get swallowed. Come on, read.
Except such to whom.
Tell them what verse you at, so anybody's following. Go ahead, verse 11 for fam, for everybody listening. Go ahead.
Except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days.
Go ahead.
Verse 12. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
I'll show you how bad this cat was. You know what kind of pressure he was up under? Now, listen, everything came on the line. All the children of Israel, because he wouldn't bow to this cat, the children of Israel came on the line. His own life came on the line. Now he got to put Esther's life on the line. He don't even get to save his niece now. And he still got to stand up in the heat of it and say to Esther, look, don't think about yourself. Don't think you're going to escape this. This is spiritual going on here. Don't think you're going to escape this, but have faith in the Most High and go in there and tell that king what got to be told. Brother, that's a hell of a decree you got to give your niece, whom you love as a daughter, who you done raised up right, so right that the king's attention got her. You got to have some heart in you to now tell her you got to go in there and talk to that king, even if it means your life, because all these people are going to be destroyed. That's a man of God. That ain't no average clown out here in the street. That's a man of God. And that's why the world may not see that a man of God is really on that level, but they will see it shortly. They will see how important and vital it is when you come into the truth, and sister, for that reason. They will see how vital it is for a brother and a sister that come into the truth and make this transition. It could be a hard road, but the victory, the win on the other side is incredible. Let's read.
Verse 14. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
You hear what he's saying? Let's show you Mordecai he wasn't scared. He said, look, if you hold back, the Most High is going to find another way, bigger and greater than you, to deliver these people. He know the Most High is with these people. And brother, you got to know it like Mordecai know it. You got to know it like Mordecai know it, that these are God's chosen people. Do your research. Do your homework. Make sure you understand. And then once you get it down, don't ever let nobody take it from you or give it up or compromise you or twist your mind or brainwash you or break you or anything.
Right.
Then you got it. Then you now serve the Most High in that spirit, in this brotherhood, in this UPK with complete vigor. Christ said, whatever you lay your hands to do it with all your might.
That's right.
We don't sit around. Sit around what? Sit around doing what?
Right.
We in here warring for this
right.
nation. You just can't see it because there ain't no road. Maybe I need to get a road. That's the problem. Muhammad, y'all got to get me a Rolls Royce. I need it. That's why I just figured it out. That's why they ain't hearing me, Shalmar. Y'all got to lease me a Rolls or something. Drop top, root beer color. Come on, man. That's the problem. They don't see it because it's too hit. You get my point? We the war in this. Don't nobody go out and get no room. I'm joking, of course. Read. Come on.
But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed.
Right. You're going to die in your father's house. I mean, you and your father's house going to die because you decided to side with these heathens who gave you this mansion and this wealth. That's what shocks me about all these entertainers. They get this money from these record labels and these different situations, and they turn against their own like madmen and women. That's why it was halfway right. I don't know her story, and I don't even know her, but it was halfway right how Monique came back and brought out some of that checking and brought out how she stood with her husband. Like they're sisters that's trying to fight their way to that position of righteousness. And there's brothers that's doing the same. And that's what we need. That's what's going to make the Lord come deliver us out of the hands of these heathens, man. Let's finish this up, y'all.
And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
This is what you got to be looking at. How you know you didn't come here just for this? You don't know why you was brought in this truth. You don't know what the mission is, but you better be ready on the one. So when it happened, you ready for it to happen. Right. You ain't supposed to be light on it. We ain't sitting around waiting on a damn thing. We building in here. We stay ready on the one. Right. You understand? Because you don't know what it's going to be. Whatever it is, it's going to be what we need it to be for the Lord's glory. Right. The Lord delivered the children of Israel with the beauty of a woman right here. Go ahead,
Verse 15. Then Esther bade them return. Mordecai this answered. Verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law.
Stop right there. Like this moved me every time I read it. Like this a heavy sister. She said, you know what? No problem. Y'all go fast and pray for me, man. We're going to take this to the Most High. I'm going to give all my sisters, man. We're going to come together. We're going to fast and pray over this, man. We're going to go up in here, man. I'm going to step to this king. And if I die, I die. But let's go on and do this for the nation. That, brother, is worth gold. That right there is the rarity of the earth. That right there is what's got to be in your soul. And if you ain't got it today, that's all right. Work on it. Work on it. Work on it. It'll get there. Pray over it. Ask the Most High. Get strengthened. It'll get there because you're going to change the world. Now, I'm solid myself out of the way. Go ahead, Al.
And if I perish, I perish.
Ooh, that's a bad thing. You know how sisters are. If it go down, it go down. That's what she's saying. If it happened, it happened. I'm doing it. That's some heart right there. Go ahead.
Verse 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
You can stop right there. We do the second half tomorrow night and see, of course, all the stuff that happened that brought us up out of this and why this first half is so important, because this first half of what we just went over is how we got the second half. Had we not had this first half, we would not have had the second half. I say this all the time, and I close with this. I'm Commanding General Yohana of the Isupk. And you follow my orders. And if you wise, you should. But this record, I didn't create this. I didn't sit down in my basement and write this. I didn't put this together in no book. I didn't work this out no kind of way. What's in these records was long here before me, and greater men than me put this together. Brothers and sisters, we have a gift. Right. We have a gift that nobody can see, that was handed over to us to do something amazing. Take the gift, man. Right. Take the gift. Take the gift, man. And let the Most High work in you to do something you have never believed could happen in your life. With that, I turn the class over, man, to Captain Natazak, man, badass cat in the UPK. And I thank y'all for inviting me and having me down. What? Punch you. Rock. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathum. Give it up. Sisters, you want to
Salute the sisters. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak.
the water. Hey, the water for reading up. Good job, brother. Good job. Yes.